Welcome to my cassava research and demonstration field. This is for mechanized cassava production, and basically my initial focus is on mechanical harvesting because the manual harvesting is a very painful exercise and it is very slow, it's not very efficient. So traditionally, how the cassava is harvested manually is what I'm going to demonstrate. This is not fully matured, but it is good. And this whole thing can be close to about 5 kilos. If you're a laborer and then you harvest, you want to harvest manually, depending on the soil condition, you may be able to harvest not more than 40 plants an hour or maximum 100 plants. The pain that is involved in manual harvesting, you have to stoop, excavate before you uproot one stem. That is something that will actually limit the capacity of most farmers. And if a hectare takes about 10,000 plants, you can see how many hours you need. And that will take not less than 60 to 100 days for you to harvest a hectare. So the most important aspect where we have started the innovation is this: to remove the pain, the physical pain in the manual harvesting. At the inception of independence, a lot of African countries want to go into mechanization because they feel that the manual labor on the smallholder farm is akin to slavery. But somewhere along the line, they were ill-advised that if you mechanize agriculture, you create unemployment. And a lot of these countries are bought into this. So they felt agriculture is the largest employer, so everybody must be doing 8 hours on the farm with the hoe and the cattle with very, very low output. And that has made the youth to run away from it because of the pain and the drudgery and all the negative attributes of doing farming with the primitive tools. So now we have seen that that advice or that policy was misdirected, ill-conceived, and then we need to actually mechanize. Because if you mechanize, it will accelerate the work, it will leave few people to do the work with high output, and you free labor from doing the painful, non-productive, non-efficient work, and then free them to do other productive activities that can bring in more revenue and income to the family. In fact, we don't need rocket science to inject into African agriculture, but we need that appropriate mechanization in the form of one, land preparation up to the time of planting, and then even planting, and then weeding, crop care, farm sanitation, and then harvesting. And for this one, let me zero myself to just cassava, which is very popular in sub-Saharan Africa. And this one, the one thing that we need to do to tweak the whole process is just to change from planting the traditional way in a haphazard manner to planting in rows, preferably on ridges. And the ridges have so many advantages that in the heavy rainfall, the farrows will evacuate the moisture, excess moisture. In a little precipitation, those will stay in the farrows. Additional to that, cassava, when it grows, the stems take different directions. So if they are planted on the flat, the stems will confuse the operator. But if you plant on the ridge will serve as a guide to help the operator to uproot this thing without causing much damage. The next thing is the harvesting of cassava and other tuber crops. With the harvester I have developed, it will make harvesting easy, especially all year round during the dry season. And then that will make cassava available to satisfy the existing food security requirement, and then the extra for industrial processing, value addition, and then employment generation. With the mechanization we are talking about now, it is, even though in sub-Saharan Africa, the smallholder farmers are in majority, we are not prescribing or proposing that every smallholder farmer should own all the mechanization equipment or implement. No. Let us deliberately grow some individuals in the community to have tractors to use as business. And then this will render this service to the farmers so that at the end, the tractor owner will be able to make economic returns from the ownership of this implement. And then the farmers will also get the service of this implement on time. And that will be a win-win. The sky is the limit of cassava.